So y'all already had a situation that was brewing inside the penitentiary when you went from the youth authority, from kid jail to adult jail. You went right into a beef situation?
Yeah, in the California prison system, there's always a beef. You know, it's North
Facts.
South, Black Guerrilla Family against the Aryan Brotherhood, Southerners against Northerners. I've never been in a facility in 40 years that there wasn't, you know, every day the song, the Pink Panther theme song would go through my head, you know, because you don't know if you're next. You don't know. And that's the sad part. You don't know when you hear those knives being sharpened every evening, you don't know if they're coming for you. And you don't know if it's your own homeboy that puts his arm around you. You know,
Right.
out here, if you and me get into beef, you could get in your car and you could drive to New York. But when you're
That's
in
right.
5,000 men in a little environment, there's nowhere to go.
That's right.
So, yeah, it was a hell of a disparity for me because I wanted to get back in the ring. At the time, I was 19 years old. And not to get out until I was in my 50s, that was a hell of a shock.
Um, you did get to get back in the ring. That was a very interesting story. Can't wait to get to that. So the first, you in 1982, you were housed in the Vacaville State Penitentiary, a facility that also held people who were certified psychotics.
Yes.
What was Vacaville like during that time?
Well, I was diagnosed with OBS, organic brain syndrome, from the
Mm,
punches. You have to understand, I had been fighting grown men from the time I was 13. We didn't know
mm,
about CT and what the football players are going through now. And so back then, when you're 13, 14, getting pounded on, you know, the phone would ring and I'd start shadowboxing. I needed to be there to get some treatment, you know, because I was at my wit's end. I just got 8 months pulled from under me and given a life sentence.
mm,
You know, to know that it's 1982 and you're not going to the pro board till 2022. I mean,
mm,
I ask people to fathom that. Try to
mm.
fathom
It's
that.
unfathomable, brother,
Yeah, yes, it was.
especially for a kid. You were a kid, you know. Your frontal lobe hadn't even developed yet. You know, your ability to truly reason hadn't been developed yet. Just that's just the way human beings work.
Yeah,
It's a lot to deal with.
I was diagnosed as I was diagnosed as being volatile. I mean, everything that came out of my mouth was "Where you from?" That is on my, you know, someday when I go, I told my wife to put "Where you from?" on my gravestone because I'm where you from all day and all night. Where you from, fool? Where you from? And that's, you know, people live and die by that, and I don't think the world knows that. But when you ask somebody where you from, you know, hold your nuts and buckle up because if it's the wrong neighborhood, we're going at it. It's on and
That's
cracking.
right.
You know.
That's right. The New York version of that back in my youth was what you looking at. What you looking at? Why you look? What you looking at? More and same type of thing, same type of jump off, same type of volatile thing. It goes from you minding your business, not even aware that the other person exists, into that moment when your eyes catch contact with one another, and it's like I don't recognize you, and I need to immediately identify what your intent is. Do you intend to harm me, or what? So, if you do, let me let you know that I'm with the shits like a motherfucker. So, you know, what you looking at? Same thing as where you from.
Where you from,
You know what I
brother?
mean?
Where
Let you
you
know I'm with the
from?
shits. What's up?
Yeah.
Which is a crazy way to
I
fucking
do
live.
it to this day. I do it to this day, but I do it in a different version. Now,
Right.
when I see youngsters in the liquor store and they go, "What's up, OG?" I just bang on them. "Where you from, fool?" And they be looking like, "Really?" I go, "No, man, where you from?" And they'll say their hood, and I'll go, "Hey, do you know? Oh yeah, that's my dad. Hey, that's my uncle." So now when I say "Where you from?" it's not for that reason anymore. It's to, you know, let them know, "Hey, where you from?" "Oh, I'm from."
Hmm.
"Hey, I know." Because if you do 40 years in California prison, you know pretty much every gang member, somebody who's about substance, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah. Do you know Triste? Güero?
Man, there's so many of those. I got
Mm.
Triste from 18. There's Triste from Soren. I mean, there's
That's what I'm talking about. Today's day from 18.
yeah, there's
That's
so
the
many though. You know, I went down to Six and Alvarado just the other day to get a fade and just to see around the neighborhood, and I couldn't believe how much has changed. You know, I
mm,
just time waits for no one. It really
no
doesn't.
doubt. I was over there just about 3 weeks ago, and it's crazy. You know, it's really crazy. The homelessness is really crazy.
I never saw that. It's insane. And that, you know, I was telling my wife last night, I'm so blessed to have a roof over my head, to be able to have peace of mind and have a soul, to just be able to sleep at night. You know, my main thing, brother, is that I wake up in the morning, I make my wife's lunch, I drop her off for work, I come home, I work on my book, I work out, I feed my dog, I grow, so I'm working in my trees. That's my life now. And I'm so much enjoying it. Whatever years that God blesses me with, I hope that I could just be a messenger and keep just telling that you don't have to go to prison. You don't have to do it. And I'm
That's a
hoping that
fact.
that's why I agreed to do this.
That's a fact. You definitely don't. Absolutely don't. That's something that people have bought into. I think that, kind of started as far as popular culture goes with Scarface. Scarface is one of the most glorious losers that has ever been propagated to the people. Something that tells somebody that you can come from nothing, have nothing. A lot of people can relate to that in the circumstances that we come from. And then you can blow up and become this infamous, revered character and be rich and powerful. And even if you continue to behave in the same reckless manner that you did prior to reaching this level of prominence, it doesn't matter because you'll have made your mark. And, those few years that you get to live the high life will be worth all the pain, misery, and suffering that you'll endure and cause. You know what I mean? And then, rap and all that stuff kind of perpetuates the idea.
I've been there. You know, I had it. You know, I had it. When you don't have to ask how much something costs, you're there. When you could fly around the world, you know, I used to go to the airport just with a bag and a passport. And they say, where you want to go? I just pick something sunny. And I'd jump on a plane and I'd go and I'd buy clothes along the way. You know, I've
Yeah.
been there. And then I sat in that cell for 40 years and never saw the moon. Never. I never saw the
Yeah, that's
moon.
weird.
I was locked up at 3 o'clock. I came out an hour a day. For 40 years, ponder that. I ask people to really, you know, people, they say, oh, yeah, but no, stop for a minute. Put your
Right.
ass in the bathroom and 1 hour a day, you come out in a little cubicle to walk, use the phone, or take a shower. Your choice, but you got 1 hour. Do that for 40 years. Yeah. Do that for 4 days, let alone 40 years. So
Right.
that's why the downside to the Chapos and the downside to the Scarfaces, you don't realize it till you're sitting in that cell eating the top ramen, wondering if that guy's coming to take your neck in the morning. So that's what the message I'm trying to put out there. You know,
Right.
I'm not trying to glorify who I am. I did my 40. I could give a fuck what you think. But I
Right.
want to be somebody that could say, damn, I don't want to be that guy. You know, how could he do it? How could he achieve it? And it's just by learning and education. To me, my brother, education is the key. Once you
It
educate
is.
yourself, and you break that chain, man, life is beautiful, man. I love waking up every day. I'm like, I don't even want to sleep. I slept for 40 years. I go to
Yes,
bed.
sir.
I go to bed at 8, wake up at 3, and I'm up the rest of the day. But yeah,
I
man,
dig
it's
that.
it's a pleasure.